From a popular actress being targeted in her own home to a woman standing up to an intrusive photographer,
Are you with them? Is there any way that we could see your camera roll?
No, that's okay.
here are some cases when stalkers were caught on camera. 1. Court trial. Starting with none other than famous stalker of all time, Robert John Bardo. On July 18, 1989, 19-year-old fan Robert John Bardo shot and killed actress Rebecca Schaeffer at her home in West Hollywood. Bardo had stalked her for 3 years. He had been obsessed with child peace activist Samantha Smith, who died in a plane crash in 1985. Bardo then wrote many letters to Schaeffer, and she answered one of them. In 1987, he went to Los Angeles, hoping to meet Schaeffer on the set of My Sister Sam, but Warner Brothers security turned him away. He returned a month later with a knife, but security guards stopped him again. Bardo then went back to his native Tucson, Arizona, and his obsession shifted to pop singers Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, and Madonna. In 1989, Bardo watched Schaeffer in the film scenes from the class struggle in Beverly Hills. She appeared in bed with another actor, and this made Bardo very angry. He decided that Schaeffer should be punished for becoming another Hollywood whore. Bardo learned from another stalker, Arthur Richard Jackson, who had stalked and stabbed actress Teresa Saldana in 1982, how to get Schaeffer's address. He paid a detective agency in Tucson $250 to find Schaeffer's home address in California's Department of Motor Vehicles records. Bardo's brother helped him get a Ruger GP100 .357 handgun. Bardo traveled to Los Angeles a third time and roamed the neighborhood where Schaeffer lived. He asked people if she lived there. Once he was certain, he rang the doorbell. Schaeffer was preparing for an audition for The Godfather Part 3 and was expecting a script to be delivered, so she answered the door. Bardo showed her a letter and autograph she had sent him. After a short conversation, she asked him not to come to her home again. Bardo went to a diner nearby and had breakfast, then returned to her apartment an hour later. She answered the door with a cold look on her face, Bardo later said. He pulled out the handgun and shot her in the chest at point-blank range. Schaeffer fell and said only, "Why? Why?" She was rushed to the emergency room of Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but was pronounced dead 30 minutes after her arrival. He was arrested after motorists saw him running through traffic. This man confessed to murdering actress Rebecca Schaeffer. He was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. After Schaeffer's death, there was a push for stricter laws to protect individuals' privacy and safety. One result was the enactment of the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, which restricted the release of personal information by the DMV. Additionally, California passed the first anti-stalking law in the United States, setting a precedent for other states to follow. 2. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a fitness influencer named Julia shared an unsettling experience at her gym. She was recording a workout session for her YouTube channel when something unexpected happened. Julia noticed 2 men in the background, both wearing face masks, which had become a common sight in gyms after the coronavirus pandemic. She was laying on her side, facing a mirror, and concentrating on her exercises. But then, one of the men appeared to do something strange. He took out his phone and crouched down behind her, which made Julia feel uneasy. She suspected he had taken a photo of her without her consent. Feeling uncomfortable and unsure, Julia confronted the man. He denied taking any pictures, which left her feeling confused and even questioning her perception. This denial made her feel crazy for thinking something inappropriate had occurred. Still, Julia decided to share the footage on TikTok, asking others for their opinions. She was genuinely curious if others thought the same or if she was overreacting. The response was overwhelmingly supportive. Many viewers expressed their concern and anger over the situation, suggesting that the man should be banned from the gym. Julia's video showed the man walking past her, then stopping to crouch down behind her, holding out his phone. This moment seemed to capture the act of him allegedly taking a photo. The footage also revealed Julia's reaction as she watched the scene unfold in the mirror, her expression changing from focused to disturbed. Julia later shared that after the incident, she reported it to the gym staff. She recounted how the staff confronted the man about the alleged photo. However, he continued to deny taking any pictures. The situation escalated when he returned to the gym, upset and angry about being confronted. Julia described feeling extremely uncomfortable during this confrontation. Her story didn't end there. After the incident, the man found her on Instagram and sent her messages denying the allegations. This further added to Julia's discomfort and fear. Despite the stress, Julia decided to report the incident, especially after allegedly seeing the man do the same thing to another woman in the gym. But next, a family's doorbell camera captured a disturbing scene. 3. Their daughter arrived home in a hurry, clearly frightened. She struggled to open the door quickly as two men appeared behind her, trying to get inside. The video showed these men following her closely, and one of them held a black bag that raised suspicions. It looked like he was carrying something dangerous, possibly even something to incapacitate her. The girl managed to get the door open just in time, and the men failed to enter. The footage, shared on social media, sparked widespread concern and outrage. Another trainer, Heidi Aragon, faced a disturbing situation at her gym when she noticed a man persistently staring at her during her workout. 4. Feeling uneasy, Heidi decided to record her exercises with her phone, placing it on a bench to capture the entire scene. Despite her husband's presence, who came to work out alongside her, the man continued to stare at her. Heidi eventually approached the man and asked him to stop staring, explaining that his behavior was making her feel uneasy. The man responded dismissively, claiming he was simply looking around and not staring at her specifically. Heidi informed him that she had recorded the entire incident on her phone. This disclosure appeared to make the man back off. Following the confrontation, Heidi decided to share the video on TikTok. The footage clearly showed the man's persistent gaze and Heidi's confrontation, highlighting the uncomfortable situation she had been placed in. The video quickly gained attention on social media, with many people supporting Heidi's actions in addressing the inappropriate behavior she experienced. In this last video, two women confronted a man who was allegedly taking photos of them without their consent. 5. Our next story involves a TikTok user named Kenny. She was left shaken after a disturbing encounter.
Right? Which is fine. I live in an apartment complex, like that's normal. But this car like wedges itself between me and the parking garage. So I was like, what the fuck? There's a man in it. So already I'm like, meh.
It began when she noticed a car following her as she drove home. Initially, she thought nothing of it, assuming the car was just another resident of her apartment complex. However, when she reached her parking area, the situation took a frightening turn. The car behind her blocked her path, wedging itself between her and the entrance to the parking garage. Inside, the car was a man she did not recognize.
At a stoplight and wanted to tell me I was pretty. In what world is that appropriate?
He gestured for her to roll down her window, which she did hesitantly. The man asked if she lived in the apartment block. To protect herself, Kenny lied and said she was just visiting a friend. The man then asked if she was from Austin, to which she again lied, saying she was not. The stranger then revealed that he had been following her for 5 miles because he saw her at a stoplight and wanted to tell her she was pretty. This next incident shows a woman walking in a park when she notices a man following her.
Hey, I'm just on my way to my car.
6. At first, she tries to ignore him and hopes he will go away. He doesn't, and he starts talking to her, making her uneasy. She remains polite but wary as he offers to walk her to her car, which she declines, stating she is capable of walking herself. He insists he means no harm, but she becomes more anxious as he continues to follow her closely.
I really have a choice in the matter, which is quite alarming, so I don't really know what to say, to be honest.
She tries to make it clear she is not interested in his company, yet he ignores her attempts to brush him off. He starts talking about wanting to be friends with her, and she firmly tells him she has enough friends. He does not take the hint and gets closer, invading her personal space. She asks him not to touch her, feeling her fear rising, yet she tries to remain calm and collected. Finally, she reaches her car and quickly gets inside, locking the doors behind her.
Well, why would I want to do that? Well, oh my God, please don't touch me. Oh my god, no, sorry. What on earth?
7. This incident quickly went viral, amassing over 4 million views. The women approached the man and asked him directly if he was taking pictures of them.
Can you see your camera roll if you weren't taking pictures of us? Can we just see your camera roll?
No,
Can you just pull out your camera roll?
The man denied it, asking why they would think that. However, the women insisted that they had been informed he was doing so. The situation escalated as the women asked to see his camera roll.
They were a daughter or somebody related to you.
I know.
That's not okay. Just delete them.
Yeah, I will.
I'm asking you to delete them in front of me.
No, I will.
In front of me right now.
The man declined and tried to walk away. Despite his denials, the women persisted, stating that it was inappropriate to take photos of women in public without permission. They pointed out how uncomfortable and invasive his actions were, even suggesting he think about how he would feel if it were his daughter in their position. The man eventually admitted to having photos and offered to delete them, but the women insisted he do so in front of them. As he began to delete the photos, the women told him to check his recently deleted folder to ensure all images were removed. At one point, the woman filming panned the camera to capture the man's face, asking viewers if they recognized him. And now, if you think that was crazy, then you probably haven't seen this more creepy video at your right-hand side, which